Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Redroom Chat with Steven. This is going to be a new series that I make. It's going to be more of an instructional thing. And, this isn't going to be a let's play. This is just going to be some, tips for gaming. And I'm going to cover specific games, give specific tips on them. And why not start with one of my favorites? Not my favorite, one of my favorite franchises of video games. So, I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Yellow instead of Red and Blue, because Red and Blue are self-explanatory and they're pretty easy. But Yellow, you start off with Pikachu. I'm not going into full details on the game, guys. So you start off with a Pikachu, and it seems alright, but Brock is really bad. He is a rock ground type leader. Pikachu's electric types do not affect him at all, and his normal types do not do much damage. And at the beginning of the game, you are not given access to that many TNs, if any. So, what you should do is, once you get to Viridian City, that's the second city, you go from Pallet Town, you go up, and then the first city that you see, that's Viridian City. So, by this time, you should have already gone there before, and gotten Oak's parcel, and all that other stuff, and taken it back, and then you are able to leave and buy Pokeballs now. So what you do is you go left from Viridian City, you find the path, and you should catch a Mankey. Mankey is a fighting type Pokemon, in which fighting moves are super effective against rock types. I am not 100% sure how effective they are against ground types, but they work pretty well against Brock. So, get a Mankey, level it up quite a bit. Probably around 10 to 16. That'd be a good area. Well, make sure it at least has a fighting move. A fighting type move, you don't want it with Scratch, you don't want Tail Whip. You want, Double Kick, Low Kick, Comet Punch, Mach Punch, whatever. You just want it to have some sort of fighting type move. This will make it a lot easier against Brock. Pikachu's pretty good in Viridian Forest, so you don't have to worry about Pokemon there. But after beating Brock, you go to Mount Moon, in which there are Bug, Rock, and Flying Pokemon, i.e. Zubat, Paris, and Geodude, and sometimes an Onix. Normal cave Pokemons. So you've got to be very, very careful about what Pokemon you use. My TV's on out there. It's that way. I'm facing towards the bathroom right now. Well, the camera's facing towards the bathroom. That's the bathroom. That's the living room, the way that I'm nodding my head. And, yeah. So, you are given an option of a few Pokemon that you could have. You might be able to have a Butterfree by then. It's not that hard to get. You just have to get Caterpie, get it to level 7, I believe. 5 or 7, one of the two. My mind is drawing a blank right now. I believe it's 7. And then you have to keep going until it's level 10, and that's when it'll become a Butterfree. Butterfree is also useful against Brock, but it doesn't have that good of stats. It's pretty defensively weak against Brock. That was loud. Against Brock's Pokemon. these are out of the experiences that I have had. I have not had every experience. I have not. Shocking, I know. But in Mount Moon, you could have Caterpie, not Caterpie, well, you could have Caterpie, but by the time you get to Mount Moon, you'll have faced a lot of trainers, because there's a road with a bunch of different trainers with a bunch of lass and bug catchers. And you go into Mount Moon, and the first thing that you'll notice is there's a lot of Pokemon. Like, there's Zubat everywhere. Paris, some of the parts, and Geodude, some of the parts. There are also trainers, some of which are hikers. So in that case, you might want to have Mankey. But then there's some Pokemon that you're not really great against, like Paris. I had quite a bit of trouble with, and Zubat I really just ran away. You could run away from all of these, but I would think that if you're trying to beat Pokemon Yellow, the best way that you should try to beat a lot of Pokemon. So that way you could level up and you could get blah 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 doo. And sorry, I say and a lot and make noise a lot. It's because I'm dehydrated and my brain just. So you get through Mount Moon, but with the Pokemon you have, I do not have a strict recommendation for this. Just use a Pokemon. Try to keep all your Pokemon at decently high levels for time, which is like maybe 15 to 20. Pikachu is really good against the Zubat and the Paris. Mankey's good against the Geodude. Except there's a chance that you might have a Prime. No, you won't have a Primate by then. That'd be really hard. But once you get through Mount Moon, you'll be on a road. No big deal. Then you'll get to Cerulean City, my personal favorite city, because I really like the water. I like water. Despite my common nickname on a lot of social medias, like Miitomo on Instagram, Ice Purple Moon, and as well as Pokemon Go. But I'll get into that later, in a different video that's not a Redroom. So, you are going to be in Cerulean City. There are 2 starter Pokemon that you can get in that area, Bulbasaur and Charmander. You should probably go to Bill's house first, which is above and to the right. You'll have to cross Nugget Bridge, like you'll fight a fuck off mosquito. Sorry about that. But what will end up happening is there will be Nugget Bridge, as well as a trainer and a few other trainers. So what you do is, once you cross Nugget Bridge, you go up and to the left. You'll find an entrance to an area and you go talk to a guy, and he will ask you about keeping his Charmander, if there's a few certain requirements on blah 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 blah. He is not good at Cerulean City Gym. He is good at the Celadon City Gym, where Erica is. Misty is the water type trainer, so Pikachu is pretty good there. But you could also get a Bulbasaur in town, which is pretty good, but you have to do quite a bit of leveling. As well as you could get an Abra in that area. And one of my personal favorites, around Cerulean City, you could get a Bellsprout. But for Cerulean City, you probably want to get like 20 to 30, and have like a grass or an electric, because water is weak to fire and electric. I'll end up going into most of the weaknesses that I know off the top of my disturbed head. Like, I'm really tired. So, gonna have to cut off soon. So, use water and electric. Not water and electric. Use electric and grass at that area. At the Cerulean City Gym with Misty. This has been Red Room with Steven. And I am signing out.